Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and today we're working on the forgotten 39 Ford hot rod project. So in the last video you saw, we got everything all together for the engine, got it back in, got it started, we high-fived, everything's awesome. So now that I'm working on that momentum of having a running engine in the frame, we're now going to work on kind of making the thing so we're not using the nurse tank to get it to run. And we're going to take this gas tank that Mike painted for me while I was away in Hershey running around with the mouse, and he got this all painted for me. So I'm going to get this mounted up and get that in, try and get the fuel line all run up to the front of the engine so that that's good. And we can just keep buttoning things up, and hopefully we can get the thing to run with this tank hooked up so it'll actually run like a real car, which will be pretty awesome. So we're going to keep working and making progress on this thing and get ready to hopefully be putting the floor on it here really soon. All right, so we got our gas tank here that we need to mount up, and this guy all in place. Now I did forget to order the filler neck, so the filler portion, the gas gauge piece, forgot to order that, so I will definitely need to do that before we put the body on, get that all mounted up, but we can get this tank all in place. Alright, so we're going to get the flare on this for the fuel line. This is a single flare, not like an inverted flare, like a brake line. First time we did this, I did that and we effed up and had to redo it because I forgot. So take two. So just, yeah, snug that. Up, up, up. Oh, no, you gotta go to 0.
Yep.
Hold on. 0. Let me hold on. There you go. Just snug. Push in so everything touches. Alright. Turn your 5/16 operation 1. And then, alright, up. Hold on, we gotta spray. Give her a little lube. Alright, pull and you'll feel it kind of stop after it forms just a little bit. Alright. Looks pretty good. Takes a little more effort with steel and the 5/16. It's alright. Gave us our little flare. We should be able to put that in and it'll just seal tight. Boom. This flare will come up like that. Tighten in, and that should just get all happy and crunched in there. Alright, I got too many projects like everybody does, and everybody probably has one of these big bolt bins, and to dig around and find hardware, I haven't organized all this, and a lot of stuff on this early Ford stuff is fine thread, so I gotta dig in my bin of bolts, but we're looking for this, I think it's 3/8 24 fine thread to go in the gas tank, but you guys probably can relate, digging around for hardware to try and save yourself a dollar in new hardware, but that's how we keep these projects cheap. Whoop. That's a shorty. I'm gonna give that a try, Andrew, see if that shorty one will actually fit. That might work a little better. Here's another one. Make sure it's got enough threads on it to get up in there. Alright. Keep digging, we'll find our hardware here real soon. Alright. So now we gotta get this fuel line here.
looks like the original spot that it went. We need to put I'm gonna grab a marker out of the...
There's one right here.
Second mark. Should probably do here to there, just a real slight bend to get it over. And then it'll run through, come up on the frame in the engine bay.
There's another.
Nah, that's for I think that's for something else. Because the body sits down there. Like, nope, the other way. Look at that. There we go. A little dip right about there.
Alright, good.
Alright, Andrew, let's fish that guy through. Let's try and straight. Keep going. Through, and then you see where that one where the brake line comes up through.
And then we go under it.
Yeah. We'll see where that puts us. That's alright. Just like that. This guy. Okay. Now, like that. That looks pretty good. Sometimes using your hand is the most effective for those weird little S-bends. Alright. Okay, so we got the full fuel lines all hooked up, and I'll show you guys what we did. So we got our fitting here that you saw we flared, and then we went up over top to the factory clamp down, and we used cool little zip tie fitting there all the way across. And I'll switch over here. We got a soft line coming off of a barb, which is how it was, and wrapping around the soft line. We actually ran out of a little bit of hard line, so my soft line's a little longer than I would normally do, but it won't really hurt anything. It's all clamped in place securely, as you can see, and it goes down and back to the frame rail. So now we're going to fill it with some fuel in the gas tank. We already know that it runs, so hopefully we can now get it to pull fuel, make sure there's no major leaks or anything with the fuel line we just hooked up, and then we are on to the next part of the project. So fingers crossed that it fires with the brand new fuel tank. Move that tape, please. Right? These no spill gas cans, it's always spill.
Yeah, let me get a rag.
It's right there on the tire. Okay, got fuel in it. We don't need Andrew's help anymore to hold the nurse tank. So we will.
I've been replaced.
Yeah. Got our temporary ground wire here. Might need a better one. Come on. Is that? Should be on there. Get all that off of there. I gotta get a better ground. Son of a... Come on. Oh, you know what? We might not have enough fuel in the... It might have ran out of the...
Could have.
There it's getting fuel. Just filled that bowl up. So it's pulling from the tank.
And make sure all the plug wires are connected and everything.
Well, if there's no fuel in it.
Yeah, I was
I think
making sure
everything
the
was-
ignition was plugged in.
Should be.
It is.
Okay. You know what? I bet that ground's not connected well. Probably was my tape. Temporary ground lost its stickiness and probably the ignition wasn't getting. There we go. Yes. Success. Our gas tank works. All right. All right. So now we're going to go to the next level of sketchy. We put the shifter in and clutch is hooked up. So we're going to take our battery. Or a battery on our special battery holder. For the ignition. Got my seat over there. Duct tape out of the way. Oh, we might not need that.
Make sure it's in neutral.
Let's do this. Alright.
Didn't spark. Oh, I heard it.
Yeah. A handy dandy.
Want me to put the negative on up here?
Yep. Negative goes on, you can tighten that down. Is it already tight? Hold on, hold on. Putting the
Oh, that's
negative
the
on the
po-
positive, you dummy. Trying to blow us up.
Maybe a little bit. Well, who's the guy who put the battery down backwards?
Oh! If you don't know how to read a battery terminal, you're the problem, buddy. Millennials.
You probably
Blame it on
thought
somebody else.
You probably thought it was positive ground because it's an old engine.
What?
No, he didn't think anything.
You've never seen a positive ground engine?
No.
That's what the meat truck is.
Gonna say.
Alright.
When you do, be careful. Because everything in your mind tells you that you do it the other way.
Alright. This. Well, that was successful.
I was sick.
That's awesome.
39 moved under its own power. Yes. All right, so that was super exciting. We moved the 39 Ford under its own power for possibly the first time since like the early 60s. So it's definitely a neat thing to think that I'm the first person that's moved some of these parts around together in a long time. But what's really great is that tells me that all the adapter parts that we put back together are working well. The clutch is working well, but we do need to adjust the clutch out. I noticed it was letting out at the top of the travel. There's tons of adjustment left in the rod down at the pedals, but I just threw it on there where it was set at previously, so we'll need to adjust that out and get that all set up. The brakes are working. They just need to be adjusted a little bit more to get them set up just right, but engine runs good. Everything functions. We just need to start putting more parts on the car. Most importantly, the gas tank that Andrew and I put in and the fuel line that we plumbed was all good. There's no leaks. Thing fires up on its own without a nurse tank. So this is a huge, huge accomplishment for this car and an engine that we kind of bought on a whim, that all these parts are coming together and work well. So now that I have this done, we can basically just start working away on getting the new floor pan on. I got to throw a fuel sender in the gas tank before we put the body or anything on, but we can basically throw the new floor pan, throw the new floor pan onto the chassis. And you guys may remember we're partnering with Max to get some of these parts on the car, so we're going to be showing you guys using a floor pan from Max and their associated hardware to get that mounted. And then we're going to cut the old rust out, slide the body over top, and
zap everything together to make it a car again. So we're moving along really well, but that's a good kick in the pants to move this thing under its own power, and of course that it runs. So that's really awesome. We got actually at Hershey, I was able to score a 3.2 intake for this. For right now, I'm going to leave the teapot on and just keep moving forward with the car. But eventually, I do have a set of 97s that have been rebuilt, sitting on the shelf, ready to go, and we're going to throw the intake on eventually. But for right now, we're going to leave the teapot carb on and keep moving forward so that we're not going backwards with the car. But we do have some parts sitting aside for it. I also picked up recently a set of Plymouth bumpers, ribbed Plymouth bumpers for the car, which will be cool too. So I can't wait to put all this really cool stuff on the car as we start progressing, because that's honestly the fun part, is putting all the little dress up things on the car. So that's all I have for this one. I appreciate you guys following along as always. We do videos on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. If you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button and drop us a comment down below. What do you think of how the 39's progressing? Thanks guys. Catch you later.